controllers are making decisions about their families and their income, and some of them are not coming to work. It's a problem. And so you've seen a lot of delays and cancellations through the airspace. It changes every single day based on what controllers are coming to work and which ones are not and what airspaces. But we were seeing increased pressure in these 40 markets. So taking 10% of the flights out will reduce that pressure, which is what we want to do. They missed a partial payment in early October. They missed a full payment a week and a half ago. This morning, they're getting their pay stubs that they're going to get another big fat zero, no paycheck for the second time. They've all told me it's really hard to navigate a full month of no pay, missing 2 pay periods. So I think you're going to have more significant disruptions in the airspace.
That's Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warning the DOT will cut a huge 1 out of 10 flights at the nation's 40 biggest airports as early as tomorrow if no shutdown deal is reached. We're seeing word 445 flights are already scheduled to be canceled. They are 2,000 air traffic controllers short in the shutdown. There's already 3,500 delays after 15 votes failed in the Senate. There's another test vote coming tomorrow. Let's bring in former presidential candidate Larry Elder. Larry, we are just 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. What do you make of this? We've got far-left Democrats attacking Senate Democrats who want to reopen. They still want $1.5 trillion in more spending and more Obamacare spending.
Yeah, they do. I thought perhaps after their sweep on election night, maybe the Democrats would then breathe a sigh of relief and come back to the table, but apparently they have not. And they are winning the perception war because the polls show the majority of American voters still believe Republicans are responsible. Even though you've had hosts like Dana Bash on CNN, Berman on CNN, Tapper on CNN introduce Democrats by saying, now you guys have kept the government shut down, blah, 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 blah. And then they refute that. Hakeem Jeffrey was just on and was told point blank by Dana Bash, you guys are responsible. And he went on a tirade about how Donald Trump...
Yeah, but they shouldn't be allowed to get away with that, right? Because they need 5, it's the filibuster vote. They need at least five Democrat senators to reopen, and those Democrat senators are not reopening. So that's just gaslighting and whipping fastballs by the American people about the sausage making. I mean, that's just misleading America. It's lying to America. We had Democrat Senator Peter Welch today saying Obamacare did not lower health care costs.
Of course it didn't. It was an abomination of legislation. But the bottom line is that the Democrats have been lying and lying and lying about who's responsible for this. The American people either don't know or don't care that we're talking about a filibuster, and you need several Democrat senators to break it so that we can reopen the government. They've gotten away with it. And so that's why I believe that they've dug in their heels. It's a combination of media bias and Trump derangement syndrome causing most Americans not to understand exactly who's responsible for this. Even the New York Times, Liz, wrote an article and said that this was a clean CR, as clean a CR as they've ever seen, and that the Democrats are refusing to come back to the table.
Yeah, that's it. The Senate Democrats won't reopen. Far-left Senate socialists, rather, in the House are pushing back on Senate Democrats, doubling down, saying stop. The Republican Study Committee packed a new funding deal until January to end the shutdown. They're going to try a test vote on things like SNAP benefits tomorrow, law enforcement help tomorrow. If they reject it, then, you're going into Thanksgiving with a really bad scenario. Let's listen to this fight that broke out in the Senate. Watch this.
Would it surprise you that I got the VIN numbers of every one of my Democrat colleagues' vehicles and found that none of them bought any of the additional safety technologies on their cars? So when you are actually shopping for a car with your own money, you don't buy the technology. But we're sitting here saying that this should be mandated for everybody else's cars. And what's been the result? We drove up the price of cars, almost doubled in the last 10 years.
I object to you stalking my car and my staff to find the VIN numbers to present to this committee. What are you doing there? What are you going to do with them? It's an invasion of our privacy. That seems a little creepy.
Just to expose the hypocrisy. Much like, for example,
expose
the fact
the hypocrisy.
that you get paid, you get a paycheck, but you walk by, you get a paycheck.
I'm donating my paycheck, sir, and I would happily be on legislation
what do you say to them?
to give.
What do you say to the staff? What do you say to the TSA workers? What do you say to the air traffic controllers?
What I am saying to you is it's a Republican shutdown, my friend. You are in control of the White House. You are in control of the House, and you are in control of the Senate.
And if you
went home to a food bank instead of going to Mar-a-Lago to eat at a gold-plated dinner while people are starving, you might see and hear your constituents, sir. You are blind to the suffering of your people.
That Senate Democrat senator, it takes 60 votes to reopen. 5 Democrat senators won't reopen. So that's the lying that's going on to the American people. Final word.
It confirms just what you and I have been talking about. That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to insist. And again, apparently it's working because a recent poll found that the majority of voters believe Republicans are responsible for the shutdown.
What poll is that?
It was in NBC recently, an NBC article.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Heard it. All right.
Well,
Thank you, Larry.
NBC.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
you got it.
We got you, Larry. Thank you.